The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation, make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels, operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Burley, Idaho, on your new fire apparatus, job number 33373. Please utilize this 5-digit job number when referencing your apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. We'll get started on a brief orientation of your new apparatus. Starting on the front bumper area, let's look under the front bumper where you'll find 2 open-ended tow hooks attached to the frame rail. Moving to the center, you'll find your electrical outlet for your winch. Moving directly in the center, you'll find your receiver for your winch. And moving outward to the face of the bumper, passenger and driver side, you'll find dual air horns. Directly in the center, you'll find your speaker for your PA system and also siren. On the side of the bumper extension is where you'll find your emergency warning light. Moving up onto the bumper extension in the center, you'll find a tub storage location with a D handle for access. And then moving to the driver's side, you'll find your mechanical siren. Moving up onto the face of the front of the vehicle, you'll find your headlights, low beam and high beam. The high beam is on the inside. Moving up, emergency cluster turn indicator lights. Moving further up onto that side area, you're going to find a side marker light turn indicator. Moving up onto the windshield area, you'll find 3 windshield wipers on your one-piece seamless windshield. As we move to the brow of the top of the vehicle, you'll find 5 running lights located across the very front. Moving up just above that, you'll find a forward-facing floodlight, and then up onto the roof is where you'll find your emergency warning light bar. Let's move to the side of the vehicle where you'll find side mirrors. Those mirrors contain a convex and also a flat mirror. Since we're on the side, let's take a look at all points of entry. You'll find grab handles for firefighter ease of access. And then as we move up to the very top, you'll find a side-facing scene light. Toward the rear of the cab is where you'll find a water tank level indicator. Let's take a couple of close-ups of those items that we just looked at. This is the tubbed storage location, dry deck material inside, 1.5-inch swivel discharge. Moving to the outer edge, you'll find your headlight cluster housing the low and high beam. Just up from that, an emergency light and turn indicator. Up to the very top, that forward-facing floodlight. As we move around to the side of the vehicle, just past the entrance door is where you'll find additional storage location. In the step well, you'll find the air inlet and then also a shoreline inlet. This is an auto eject 20 amp plug. Let's take a look at the side of the pump area where you'll find 2 2.5-inch discharges. They're clearly color coded and labeled. Because of those discharges here, we do have a warning label regarding pressure hazard and the associated hazard while removing a cap that may be under pressure. Located in the center behind the Pierce American flag eagle is your large diameter pump intake. And as we move up to the top right side of this image, you'll find your foam function. This is the fill and auxiliary location. At the very top, you'll find a warning label here. Extremely important not to mix different types of foams, brands, consistencies. Moving just to the right, you'll find the reel rewind, and then just down from that, you'll find a warning label regarding fall. As we move further down, we're going to find your 2.5-inch auxiliary suction. This is a female inlet. Moving all the way down to the very bottom, you'll find all your color code associated drains. Let's move up from this location where you're going to find hose storage. These are your cross lays. You'll find this entanglement hazard, and then you're also going to find 2 cross lays in this location, both 1.5-inch discharges. Located directly in the center, you'll find this release mechanism, which allows you to release the speed load and remove the tray. Let's move upward from this location to the D-handle covered area. Once you gain access into this space, you'll find a significant storage location here for through compartment. There's access both on the passenger and driver's side. Just a quick close-up of that side indicator here for your water tank level indicator. And then also you do have a pole light located here, which is adjustable. Just moving back just above the pump areas where you'll find the rollers for your booster line. We'll talk a little bit about that in the future. Let's start first now with the pump panel.
We'll start at the very top. If your pump is properly engaged from exiting the cab, you'll find your pump engaged light indicating. I also like to start on the left with only trained personnel should operate this piece of equipment only after receiving proper training and reading the owner's manual. Just down from that, you'll find your minimum operation maintenance schedule, which we'll go over in just a moment. To the right, you'll find your green module. This is your foam level indicator. In the gray area, we're going to find your master intake gauge, and then to the right, you'll find your master discharge. Located just between the two of those, you'll find the test gauge ports. These are for vacuum and pressure, and they are currently plugged. Moving all the way to the far right, you'll find a LED indicator regarding your PCM fault, and then just beneath that, you'll find an audible alarm. That audible alarm outer bezel does have the ability to dampen the sound level. Let's now go back to the minimum operation maintenance schedule. This is for 150, 200, and 250 psi. The associated GPM is located on the left, and on the right-hand side is the RPMs. This placard also offers your job number 33373 at a governed speed of 2080. Let's move down now to the discharges. I won't go over all of them independently, but they do have independent color-coded and also labels indicating whether they are foam capable or water capable. As we move to the right, this is your Pierce pressure throttle governor. If illuminated, it would be yellow. It is a check engine light. In the center, you'll find a digital readout for the RPMs. To the right, if illuminated, it would be in red. It is a stop engine indicator. Moving down, you'll find all of your engine diagnostic information. As we move further down, you'll find an additional water tank level indicator. That's the blue module. And then moving to the right, you'll find the audible alarm silence button. That's the red button located directly on the right side center area. As we move further down, you'll find the orange menu button. This allows you to scroll through the various menu functions of your Pierce pressure throttle governor. Moving further down, you have two options, either pressure control or throttle control labeled RPM control. Those are the two options you have for engaging your pump. In the middle, you'll find a digital readout. Just beneath that, you'll find the blue control module, which will allow you to select either pressure control or throttle control. Located in the center, you'll find a green indicator, throttle is ready. And then to the far right, you'll also find a green indicator regarding the ability to scroll through the various presets if you've decided to pre-program. Located down at the very bottom, you'll find your throttle. Right to increase the throttle, left to decrease, and push in the center where it says idle to reduce to idle. As we look just beneath those valves, you'll find your CAFS system. These are all of the individual valves allowing you to provide CAFS to each individual line. This is here a warning label regarding that CAFS system. As we move down to the lower left, you'll find your tank fill and recirculating line, and to the right, you'll find your tank to pump. We do have a wheel here. It is for your deluge discharge indicator on the wheel indicating the position, and then also below you'll find the gauge. There are two modules here I'd like to direct you to. First, the Hercules CAFS system. Tremendous amount of information. Please see your owner's manual regarding that system. In addition, with the foam system located over here on the right-hand side, which is the red module. Same thing, please see your owner's manual for more information. On the right, you'll find your passenger rear discharge, which is a 2.5 inch. Moving down, you'll find the primer for the fire pump with instructions that you should be at least at 1,000 RPMs. There are two electronic valves located here. These are both on the passenger side. We'll cover those in a moment. As we move further down, you'll find all your associated drains. The round is going to be twist. The lower ones will be pull. As we move down to the left, you do have a CAFS air outlet. And then as you can see at the very bottom, you'll have all your associated drains. We do have a pan door located here on the far right to gain access behind the panel. We'll cover that next. This is for your foam fill operations. The instructions are on the door itself. The yellow handle is what it's referring to. As you move further down, you'll find your manual pump shift override. It's a protected switch, and it also has an indicator if you've engaged it. To the left-hand side of the pump panel, you'll find two passenger side and driver's side floodlights, and also future switches if necessary. Here's some close-ups of the independent modules. First, your Hercules CAFS system in blue, and then to the right, your foam system here located in the red module. As we move just outside of that into the next compartment next to the pump panel, you'll find when plugged into shore power, that outlet will activate charging your battery system, and this is your battery charger. Let's take a look through the various compartments on this side of the truck. First, you have SCBA bottle storage with protective straps. In addition, you'll find your silver your silver ultra low sulfur diesel and the blue 4.5 US gallon DEF tank. As we move to the next compartment, this is directly over the rear wheel. You'll find dry deck material, LED lighting, and also adjustable shelving. Moving to the very far rear, you'll find a pull-out tray located at the far right. This has the ability to release the mechanism down in the lower right. There are wheel chocks located in front of and rear of the rear wheel. Also a side pull location here for your winch and also 12-volt access. Let's take a quick look at the rear of the apparatus. We'll identify a few items back here. Let's first start with the obvious. You have a brake, turn, and also reverse light. Moving up from that, you have combination, emergency, and also warning lights. There are also some pan doors back here I'd like to cover. There are 3 that I'm identifying in this image. First, we'll start with a few of those in the next set of images. Located directly over the Pierce logo is where you'll find your backup camera, and above that you'll find your traffic advisor. Let's take a close-up of some of those items. First, a 24-foot and a 14-foot roof ladder located in the first compartment. As we move up to the very top, you'll find long tool storage handles and also a 10-foot attic ladder. Moving to the opposite side, additional storage location for long handles. Let's now take a look at some close-ups. This is an entanglement warning because of those hoses coming aloft. You also have some warning labels here regarding fall and that you should not ride on the rear of the apparatus while it's in motion. And then also a pressure warning hazard located on the far right. Once again, pressurized caps do pose a hazard. Just up from that location, you'll find your passenger side rear discharge. It is a 2.5-inch discharge. To the rear roll-up compartment, you'll find a pull-out shelf on the lower section. The release is located where the arrow is indicating. There are 2 cupped lights, hose bed lights, and also rear scene lights. In the stair access, in the very center of that, you'll find the storage location for your suction hose. General view here of the top dunnage area of your apparatus. We'll cover those items next, starting first with your top fill. This is for your water tank. And as we move to the right, this is for your foam tank fill for Class A foam. I would like to point out we do post a warning label on the foam tank regarding do not mix, once again, those different brands, consistencies of foam for foam failure hazard. As we move through the dunnage area also, I would like to point out a couple more items here. This is also where your CAFS system is located. This is the skid load for that on the very top here. You can also see your booster line. At the very top, you'll find your deluge discharge. You do have top control and also extendable deluge system. Let's move to the rear of the apparatus, front of the apparatus, where you'll find this is a non-walking surface. So because of that, we have this warning labels. To the rear of the apparatus, you'll find these safety diamonds identifying the edge of the walkway where it's safe for firefighters to gain access and walk. You also have 4 top compartments located on the top of your apparatus, 2 on the right side and 2 on the left side. They are various depths for each of those compartments. They do have dry deck material and also LED lighting within inside those areas. Let's now pull back from the top section, move around to the passenger side. We're at the rear door where you'll find a pull-out tilt-down shelf. The release mechanisms are the 2 black knobs. As we move down to the right lower section, you'll find a pull-out tray. Also within this compartment, you'll find shoreline outlet. When plugged into shore power, this will be activated. Just underneath that compartment is where you'll find your electrical outlet for your winch, and then you'll also find a direct pull information here with a placard and also a receiver location for location of your winch. Let's move through some of the other compartments within this area. Just up from this location, you're going to find bottle storage for 3 SCBA bottles, in addition with those retaining straps. In the forward section, just front of the rear wheel, you'll find 2 bottle storage locations and also an oxygen bottle storage location. Directly over the rear wheel is where you'll find your tool board storage. The D handle allows you to open. It will lock in the open position. The release is on the hinged side down low. Let's move to the next forward compartment. You'll find a pull-out tilt-down shelf. Once again, the 2 black knobs are your release mechanism. As we move down, we have a specialties pull-out shelf down the lower section with the release on the lower right-hand side. I would like to point out this warning label regarding extremely hot diesel exhaust temperatures, and be careful where you park your vehicle. As we now move to the midsection, you're going to find a real rewind. Also find a warning label here regarding fall. And then as we move just to the right, you'll find a 2.5-inch strainer. Moving also to the right, you'll find the large diameter pump intake. This is the Pierce American Flag Eagle logo. As we move to the right, you're going to find your cab tilt module. There are some warning and danger instructions here. Please follow those. As we move down, you'll find once again a pressurized hazard because of the 2 discharges located on this side. First, we have a 2.5-inch discharge. This is that electric valve that we noticed on the driver's side. There is an override located down in the lower section, as is the large diameter discharge with an override down in the lower left-hand side. As we move to the left, you'll find your 2.5-inch passenger side auxiliary inlet, and then just underneath that, you'll find all your associated color-coded drains. Here's some close-ups of those images that we just talked about. First, the real rewind and also your water strainer. Moving further across, this is your cab list. We have a protected switch here for raise and lower, and then an activate switch. In this image, I'm trying to highlight the overrides, which require a special tool for engaging those electric valves. As we move upward, you'll find that D handle. This is that through compartment that allows you to gain access from both passenger and driver's side. And then as we move to the cab, you'll find your tank fill LED indicator. General view in the rear, there are 2 rear-facing cabinets, and then there are 2 forward-facing seats nestled in the center. Here's the access between the front and rear door of the cab. Here are your SCBA seats located forward-facing. And then in the very center at the back of the engine is where you'll find your daily checks housing location. Simply open this door. There's a light on the inside. This is for your daily checks for oil and transmission. Just a quick look looking from the rear section forward. We'll now move to the officers area. At all points of entry for personnel, you'll find this set of warning labels affixed to the door panel. You'll also find that this vehicle is equipped with an SRS supplemental restraint airbag system, and that's the indication for that, and do not block or mount anything within that area. This is your fill location for your windshield wiper. At the floor level, you have a mechanical siren. Also, if we look back to the seat, you do have a riser which has an additional storage location here with a drop-down door. As we move to the center left-hand side of the dash, you'll find an air horn, also 12-volt USB access. As a quick look overhead, we'll identify the areas and switches within this area. This is overhead of the officer area. You have a front flood. You also have additional future switch locations if necessary. Located just to the left, you'll find your AM/FM weather radio band CD player. Located directly in the center, you'll find this red light indicating do not move your apparatus. If the light is illuminating, you have a compartment or door open. Also moving just to the left, you'll find your traffic advisor. As we move now to the driver's area, once again a point of entry, so we have those warning labels here to assist you. You'll also find a cluster of warning labels here, and then also a very important label, your Pierce manufacturing placard. Let's cover that next. This is going to be the manufactured by Pierce for your department. It does have the date of manufacture, the 5-digit job number. It also has cold tire inflation, gross vehicle weight ratings. It also has the information regarding the component, fluid capacities, and fluid types for your vehicle. Located down about the left ankle of the operator, you'll find when plugged into shore power, this will be activated. That is your battery charging indicator. Down at the foot pedal area next to the brake treadle, you'll find your mechanical siren foot pedal. Quick look at the front section where the knee of the operator would be. Let's cover some of those items. First up at the very top, this is your battery switch, master switch. To the right, you're going to find some diagnostic tech information. This is for your service personnel. First, this is the tech module in black. To the right, you're going to find your engine, transmission, ABS diagnostic port, J1939. You'll also find ABS diagnostics, DPF regen, an indicator, engine diagnostics, and also a regen inhibit. To the very far right, you're going to find a discharge display port here for your command system. Let's move to the upper section here where you'll find a set of switches, first housing an indicator for stationary OK to pump and roll. This is the engagement of your water pump and foam system and calf system, and you also have your tire chains and then also load manager. Each of those have indicators if they are on. Moving to the opposite side of the steering column is where you'll find a digital readout for your pump pressure, also a tank indicator for water and foam. The blue is for water, green is for foam. Just up from that location, you'll find your mirror controls for your convex and flat mirror. And as we move to the dash area, left-hand side, you'll find the ignition and start switch. Just inside of that location, you'll find this small switch says EM, which stands for Emergency Master, that engages all of your emergency lights. This is your headlight and parking lights. Moving to the right, you'll find your panel lights, allow you to brighten or dim the panel lights. Starting on the left, you have your transmission, oil, DEF level, water temperature. To the right, you'll find volts, front and rear air, fuel, and then in the center, you'll find the tachometer and speedometer with diagnostic information above and below the speedometer. Moving to the right, you'll find your Pierce Command Zone, a tremendous amount of information right here at your fingertips. Please see your owner's manual for more information about this item. The next set of switches down, you have an engine brake. It's either on or off, and it has settings for low, medium, and high. You do have a air horn or electric horn switch selector, then red, siren brake, high beam flash, and mirror heat. To the right, you'll find your windshield wiper control. Push on this to allow you to display windshield wiper fluid on the windshield. As we move down, you'll find this yellow diamond. This is the pull to apply your system parking brake and push to release. To the right, you'll find your Allison transmission pad with information to pump in neutral. Let's move just up from this location where you'll find your climate control, heat and defrost, and also AC. In the upper left-hand corner over the operator's head, you'll find this placard, height 10 feet 5 inches, length 31 feet 11 inches, and a gross vehicle weight rating of 46,500 pounds. If you make any adjustments that may affect this, please change this placard accordingly. Let's move to the right where you're going to find your set of switches overhead of the operator. This is going to be emergency master, roof light, front warning lights, side warning, lower rear warning, and then upper rear warning. Let's move slightly to the right to the next set of switches where you'll find your front flood, driver's side scene, passenger side scene, passenger side flood, and your rear scene. Once again, if any of those switches have been activated, the green indicator light will also display. The next set of images here are just a quick roll through some of the items. First, your siren, that's just to the right of all of those switches, and PA speaker system. As we look through, we'll find your SCBA seats center mounted forward facing. As we move outside, just looking in, just another image here to help identify where items are located. There is netting, also lighting with inside and adjustable shelving in those compartments. As we look overhead, your AC unit, push on and off, white and red lights, and also stereo speakers. Congratulations, Burley, Idaho, on your new fire apparatus, job number 33373. If you have any questions regarding your vehicle, please contact your Hughes Fire sales representative. Congratulations.